Hi, my friends, and welcome to Storytime for the week of January 10th, 2021. My name is Miss April, and I am the youth librarian at Hutton Public Library. And today, we're going to talk about hibernating animals. Can you say hibernation? Say that with me. Hibernation. A little faster. Hibernation. And once again, hibernation. Yeah. Do you know what a hibernating animal is? Think about that. Hibernating animals. Hibernating animals are animals that go into their homes, their dens, their caves, underground ponds, and rest or sleep during cold weather. For many reasons. Sometimes it's because finding food is very difficult in the winter. Maybe we can think about some animals that hibernate. We have a book today that's going to talk to us about animals that hibernate and a couple of songs. So let's get started. All right. It's time to hibernate. Hibernate. It's time to hibernate. It's time to hibernate. When it's cold and wintry, oh, it's time to hibernate. We get animals that are big and hairy and they have claws. They roar. Bears. The bears sleep in their caves. The bears sleep in their caves. When it's cold and wintry, oh, the bears sleep in their caves. We have another little animal. It's small, and you see them all over our little town. There are little brown ones, and tan ones, and gray ones that are kind of black. Oh, and black, yes, black ones as well. And they have a big poofy tail. And when they hibernate in their homes, they pull that tail up over top of them like a blanket and cuddle in to stay warm. Do you know what they are? They live in trees. Little tiny animals. They're fun to watch scatter across the trees and the power lines. Did you say squirrels? Yeah. The squirrels sleep underground or in a tree. The squirrels sleep underground. When it's cold and wintry, oh, the squirrels sleep underground. There's another little animal that can live in the water or outside of the water. We often hear them croak. Did you say frog? Yeah, the frogs sleep in the mud. The frogs sleep in the mud. When it's cold and wintry, oh, the frogs sleep in the mud. One more animal. You see them all the time crossing highways, and they're chubby, really chubby little things. They like to dig up gardens and backyards. Groundhogs. Groundhogs sleep in their dens. Groundhogs sleep in their dens. When it's cold and wintry, oh, groundhogs sleep in their dens. And our first verse again. It's time to hibernate. It's time to hibernate. When it's cold and wintry, oh, it's time to hibernate. Good job. I have a book for you today called Time to Sleep by Denise Fleming. All about those animals that hibernate during the winter. Okay, turn a little bit so you can see my book. Bear sniffed once. Bear sniffed twice. I smell winter in the air, said Bear. It's time to crawl into my cave and sleep. But first, I must tell Snail. I like the art in this book. It's a little dark and hard for the camera, but it's really, the pictures are cool. Snail was slowly slithering up on one leaf and down another. Snail, rumbled Bear. Winter is in the air. It is time to seal your shell and sleep. stopped slithering. "You are right, Bear," said Snail. "This morning there was frost on the grass. It is time to sleep. But first, I must tell Skunk." Scritch, scratch, scratch. Skunk was busy digging grubs. "Skunk, winter is on its way," and said Snail. "It is time for you to curl up in your den and sleep." Skunk looked up. The leaves on the trees were yellow and red. "All right," said Skunk, "I will sleep. But first, I must tell Turtle." So we know so far that bears and snails and skunks and turtles hibernate. Turtle was off on a ramble. "Stop, Turtle!" cried Skunk. "I have news. Winter is on its way." Turtle blinked. "Winter?" "Yes, winter," said Skunk. "It is time for you to dig down deep and sleep." "The days have been growing shorter," muttered Turtle. "It is time to sleep. But first, I must tell Woodchuck." Turtle trudged up Woodchuck's hill. "Woodchuck," called Turtle, "winter's on its way. It's time for you to burrow down and sleep." Where's the woodchuck? Wonder where he's at. Oh, there he is. "Thank goodness," said Woodchuck with a sigh. "My skin is so tight I could not eat another bite." Woodchuck's been busy getting really fat so he can sleep all winter without having to come out to eat. "I am ready to sleep. But first, I must tell Ladybug." Ladybug was perched high on a branch in a maple tree. "Ladybug," called Woodchuck, "winter is on its way." Little itty bitty ladybug. Ladybug flew over Woodchuck's head. "The leaves are falling from the trees," said Woodchuck. "It is time for you to slip under a log and sleep." "All right," said Ladybug. "But first, I must tell Bear." Do you remember Bear? Our first animal. Bear was softly snoring in her cave. "Bear!" cried Ladybug. "Wake up! Wake up!" Bear grumbled and rolled over. "The sky is full of geese honking goodbye," cried Ladybug. "Winter is on its way." She woke up Bear to tell her what she already knew. I don't know if you should wake a sleeping bear. Bear opened one eye. Then she opened the other. "What?" growled Bear. "It is time to crawl into your cave and sleep," said Ladybug. "Ladybug," grumbled Bear, "I am in my cave. I was asleep." "Oh dear," said Ladybug. "I am so sorry, Bear. Please go back to sleep." Bear rolled over and closed her eyes, and Ladybug slipped under a log nearby. "Good night, Ladybug," said Bear. "Good night, Bear," said Ladybug. "Good night, Woodchuck. Good night, turtle. Good night, skunk. Good night, slithery little snail. Good night, everyone. See you in the spring. I like that book a lot. Plus, it tells us a lot of animals that hibernate in the winter. Tuck down into their homes and go to sleep. Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? Oh, how nice. One long winter nap. All right, we have another song today, and then we're going to make a craft. Are you ready? It is a sing and repeat song. So I'm going to sing it, and then you're going to repeat it. Are we ready? Bear is sleeping. Bear is sleeping in her cave. In her cave. Wonder when she'll wake up. Wonder when she'll wake up in the spring. In the spring. Let's do another animal. An animal that was in our book. The stinky animal. We always know when they wake up in the spring. It's like the first sign of spring is when you smell the skunks. Yes. Skunk is sleeping. Skunk is sleeping in his den. In his den. Wonder when he'll wake up. Wonder when he'll wake up in the spring. Your turn. In the spring. I hope you sang with me at home. All right, I have a really cute craft for us to do today. I made one already, and I'm going to show it to you. I've got my little hillside den here. And guess what's inside? Guess what? Big animal that likes to hibernate. Our most popular hibernating animal. Big and roar. It roars. Roar. Dangerous and scary. I have a bear sleeping inside a den. All right, materials you will need is a paper plate. I've got one cut in half. I already used half of it for this one. But once upon a time, it was a whole plate, and now 2 halves. So, half of a paper plate. You will need some brown paper. I have some scraps here to use. And a little bit of black paper to make the background in the den. And this cute little nose. I have a little bit of paper to use to glue on top of so I don't get it on my table. Not a necessity, but you can have one if you like. I have scissors and glue sticks, and you'll notice my bear has little sleepy eyes and a mouth. I use a very fine Sharpie. You could use a crayon. You could use colored pencils. You could use a pen. Really anything that you have at home, but just something to draw that with, okay? All right. I'm gonna back this up a little and tilt down so you can watch me work. All right. Okay, so I have my plate. I need to cover my plate, and I also need this black background. So, I am actually going to, I hope I can see it, trace. If I can't see it, it's not a big deal. Trace my plate, and then I'm going to cut it significantly shorter, okay? So, I don't think you'll be able to see this at home, but I drew the whole semicircle of my plate on here. I don't need that much. So I'm going to just use that as a guideline to cut my black paper. Because I just need it to fit inside the small part of my plate. So I've got this little bit. It might be a little too big. If it is, I'll trim it. It is just a tiny bit too big. So we want that to fit right in the flat part of our paper plate. Okay, put my scraps in my scrap basket. Yeah, I'll set that there. Okay, gonna take my little bit of paper and my glue stick and put all the glue all over my cave background, my black little semicircle. Okay. Take my plate and put it on there. All right, so that's what we have so far. The next thing we need to do is cover the entire plate. So, once again, I'm going to don't know which one to use. Okay, I'm going to use this one because it's big enough. I'm going to set my plate on the edge, on the very edge of my paper. And then I'm going to take my pen and trace all the way around. And don't worry, it does not have to be perfect because this is our craft, it's our art. And whatever we make with our own hands is always wonderful and beautiful every time. Can't mess it up. All right, you can see that I have traced my plate. Now I'll take my scissors. And quickly cut out my cave cover. There we go. Now, we're going to adhere this. We're going to glue this to our plate. You see how it covers it pretty well? But before we do that, we have to create a door to put our bear inside of so we can see our bear. So I'm going to just snip a little up and snip a little over. Parents at home, if you would like to draw one for your child, it may be a little easier for them. But I'm just gonna go like, I don't know, inch and a half up. And about the same distance over. And then I'm gonna set it down. I'm going to take this piece that I cut out and I'm going to fold it back. Do you see that I have folded it? Now, once I do that, I'm going to turn it upside down so that the folded opened piece is laying against my table. I'm going to take my glue stick and just put glue on the outside edge of the circle and the bottom strips, okay? Because I don't need to glue the entire thing to my plate, just the edges. So, if you watch me at home, you can see that I am putting a little bit of glue along the edges. Plate back, and I put this on my plate, my cover. Right. Now you can see I have a little doorway, and inside that doorway, I'm going to put my bear. So, I need another piece of brown paper, and I'm just going to draw. Actually, I'm going to fold it. cut myself a little bit first. I'm going to fold. This will make it easier because I need a half circle and a full circle that are about the same size. So you could draw one, you could trace one in this size. A quarter might work really well, or a 50-cent piece if you have one of those at home. Or, oh, the cap on a milk jug. That would be a really good thing to trace for this. Yeah, use what you have. I'm just going to cut a circle, and if it's too big, I'll cut it smaller. Remember that if I fold paper, then I get 2 of them. I think this is going to be too big. I'm good at cutting the circles too big, aren't I? If you watch often, I usually have to recut. Oh, it is just a little too big. So we'll just make it smaller. We could do this all day if we had time. There we go. So you can see how about approximately, if I could get my fingers all the way, approximately how big my circle is. But remember, I have 2 because I folded my paper. Going to take one of these circles and cut it in half. This, maybe a little less than half. This will be the body of my bear. After I have my little semicircle, I'm gonna put some glue on it. And I'm going to put it inside my cave. At the bottom of my cave, on the cave floor. Do you see my little semicircle? All right. Then I'm going to take, oh, I almost forgot. We need ears, and this is just a slightly different color. So I'm gonna snip a little bit off of it, a little bit off of what we used for the cave. And folding it in half, so I only have to cut once. I'm going to make 2 tiny little ears for my bear. Okay, I'll snip that in half. There we go. I got 2 little ears for my bear. Do you see them laying down there? They're so little. All right, I'm going to glue one on, and then I'm going to glue on the other. My little bear head with its 2 little ears. Now, I'm going to put some glue on the entire bear head. And it's going to go right here. There we go. I have my bear body, my bear head, and the little ears. I still need a nose. And then we're going to draw its eyes and its little mouth. Okay, just taking a little bit of scrap paper. I'm going to make a little tiny round nose, or whatever shape I end up making. Just cut a little nose. Parents, if you have small toddlers, you may need to do this for them. Parents of older kids, let them give it a try, okay? Good to have those fine motor skills that you get from cutting. All right, there's my itty bitty little nose. Going to put a little glue on it. Stick it on my bear. Okay. Do you see that little nose? The last thing I need to do for my bear is, I don't need my glue stick anymore, I can put that away. Draw eyes and the mouth. And because my bear is sleeping, I'm just going to draw 2 closed eyes like this, you know. So they're little undercurves. That's what I'm going to call them, little undercurves. So I'm going to draw 2 of them, and then I will show you what I've drawn, okay? I've to hold this down. It's hard to see, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe you can see if I move a little closer. So a little one like this, and a little one like that. See that? My sleeping bear. Then I'm going to make a little line down from his nose. Divot there. You see that little line? Right there. Right there. Then I'm going to give him a mouth. And he's smiling because he's sleeping and he's happy. Or her. There we go. Do you see my little bear inside its little cave? You could give it a little fur in the ears if you like. I'll do that right now. My little black pen. Sharpie pen. There we go. Little extra fur in the ears. Keep the ears warm. And if you wanted to, you could get some cotton balls and put some snow on the outside of the cave if you wished. It's your craft. You can make it however you want it. There's mine for today. Thank you so very much for joining me for story time today. I will be back in 1 week to do another. I'm not real sure yet what we're going to talk about. Maybe some winter animals that don't hibernate. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Until then, my name is Miss April. I'm the youth librarian at Janaden Hutton Public Library. I'd love to see your crafts from home, so please email them to me at april@janadenlibrary.org or bring them to the library and show me in person. If you need craft materials to make the craft at home, give me a call at 740-254-9224, and I would be so very happy to get a little kit together for you. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.